What's up, everyone? Marc Lobliner, CEO, MTS Nutrition, Chief Marketing Officer, TigerFitness.com, creator of the Outright Bar, as well as partner in the Ambrosia Collective, including Nectar. We have a new Peach Rings flavor coming, if it's not already out, depending on when you watch this, and 015 Nutrition. Guys, so I'm actually friends with Marc Bell. Marc Bell's a good guy. Marc Smelly Bell. Oh, my boy. Love him to death. He actually had an Instagram post this morning that I wanted to kind of offer my opinion on, and I want you to watch his video. I'm going to link his channel down below. I'm going to link his Instagram because I don't know if I'm going to link the actual Instagram post. I don't know if YouTube lets you do it, whatever. And the topic was that he likes to use intermittent fasting to basically create a caloric deficit. And I actually think that's brilliant for a lot of people. But as we all know, everybody's different. But I'm going to go and I'm going to look at some data. I'm going to go over anecdotal, and I'm going to leave it up to you guys to watch his thing and figure out what's best for you. And the reason I'm doing this, because Marc is right for a large portion of the population. For the rest of the population who try this and realize it doesn't work for you, you'll need other ways to go about it. Now, what Marc's talking about is how he likes to have time-restricted eating. Basically, think about it this way. If you do a 16-hour fast and an 8-hour feeding period, that means that for 16 hours a day, so let's say when you wake up till 2 p.m., right, that you don't eat, but then you eat from, let's say, 2 to 8, which gives you 6 hours, or 2 to 10, which gives you 8 hours, whichever you choose, whichever feeding period you choose. So that does decrease the time you can eat. Okay, and his theory is less time to eat, less time to screw up. Now, I will say the intermittent fasting studies did show that they lost weight. In one of the studies, I believe the lean gain study, I did a video on this very channel, showed that they did have a slightly less caloric intake throughout the day of around 250 calories, which is what was attributed to the weight loss. However, we're going to look at subsequent studies that have been done. No, I don't have the footnotes. Yes, I am going from the top of my head. I'm not going to cite everything in here. This is what I've read, and I'm also going over anecdotal experience, which I don't need any footnotes for anyway. So let's fast forward. All right. So when you eat in less time, it's harder to eat as much crap in an 8-hour period versus in a 16-hour period. Right? So there's number one. However, as we delve into further research on intermittent fasting, what current studies or further research has found is that basically we have 3 negative effects that I found that are the main things to look at in intermittent fasting, which is time-restricted eating. Number one is feelings of hunger. People who fast, believe it or not, get really, really hungry. Number two is it does cause a decrease in thyroid hormones. It does cause your thyroid hormones to be slightly disadvantageously decreased. Another thing is it does cause, based on current data, we need a lot more research to have conclusive evidence, it does cause a dip in testosterone, which is bad. So, and you could say it wastes muscle, but there's other studies that say that's hogwash, or as our great President Biden says, malarkey. I'm not going to go there. I don't think if your calories are equal or if your protein and your fat are equal, that it's going to cause any kind of deleterious muscle loss, overeating frequently. I will argue that there is optimal feeding periods for protein and muscle protein synthesis where you will be optimal if you eat protein every 3 to 4 hours, but I digress, not the point of this video. So his post was specifically going over how he gets around feelings of hunger while fasting. And one is he stays busy. He either trains or he stays busy with work. He can't overeat when he's in business meetings. I believe I'm paraphrasing what he said. So my problem is I can't business meet when I'm hungry, right? I'd rather eat an outright bar and have a meeting than sit there hungry. If I'm hungry, I'm going to be angry, I'm going to be ornery, and I'm not going to be the greatest person to work with. As for training, when I train fasted, I run out of energy, I lose my pump, and I just have no motivation to train. And obviously, Marc might be mentally stronger than me. He might have a slower metabolism than me, which allows his body to hold on to glucose better than mine. I flatten out really quick. Or maybe his body is more fat adapted than mine. But I always wondered, because I actually spent some time with Marc. I love the guy to death. And here's where we're all different. Here's where Marc's not wrong. We literally went through the day. I needed to get lunch. I ate like 10 bars. We went and trained, and I don't even think the dude ate. And he was fine. He was fine. Nothing was wrong. I'm sitting there every hour like, man, I'm hungry. I'm hungry. Man, when we eating? Can we order some lunch? I'm hungry. Hey, man, I need to get an outright bar. Hold on 1 second. Well, he's just rolling, just cruising throughout the day, just doing his thing. Wasn't angry. Now, if I go for any bit of time without food, especially after training, you can ask my wife. I'm a pretty angry individual. I get hangry as fuck. Marc doesn't have that problem. So for me, training while hungry, while fasted, whatever, makes matters worse. Where all I'm thinking about is I don't want to be here and train. I just want to eat. If I'm having a meeting, all I can think about is I don't want to be around these idiots. I want to eat. So you can imagine if I'm giving a sales presentation at Target or Trader Joe's or Meijer, I don't want to be hungry because I'm going to be angry and I'm going to screw up the deal. So I make sure I eat before these meetings or else it's not good for anybody, especially my company's bottom line. What I'm getting at is intermittent fasting or fasting in general or time-restricted eating is amazing for some people. People like Marc, people with slower metabolisms, maybe people who are on a ketogenic-based diet who don't do many power output functions. Now, we have found through data that ketogenic diets do not. This is what the research shows. This is our evidence. Evidence shows us or indicates, doesn't prove, we don't prove that ketogenic diets do not decrease strength. So you see a lot of powerlifters thriving with the carnivore diet because you're doing 3 reps. Like you're not really tapping into any glycolytic, man. You're not really tapping into anything. You're tapping into some strength, a little bit of ATP, and you're done, right? You're doing like 3 reps. However, let's look at my normal day. I either box, which is hard, which burns through every bit of glycogen I have, or I weight train extremely intense, bodybuilding, sometimes 10 to lately 30 reps, a lot of supersets. That's a different training mode than someone who just lifts heavy weight. Even bodybuilders can probably get by with ketogenic diets. However, I would say performance athletes like boxers, those utilizing glycolytic cycle and all that good stuff, those are the guys who are going to have issues with that, right? But powerlifters and other people who are not doing those kind of activities might have less. Then you have someone like Shawn Baker, the guy with the carnivore diet, who I love as well. I think he's great. This guy is a world champion indoor rower. That makes no sense. Obviously, either he's trained his body to be more fat adapted than I have, or his body just processes things differently, right? Now, are Shawn and Marc Bell wrong? Are Shawn Baker and Marc Bell wrong? No. Absolutely fucking not. They are wrong. They are not wrong. They are right. What I'm getting at is we all have different ways to cook a pizza, to make ribs really tender. I can go and I can stick it on my Traeger for 5 hours wrapped in foil, and someone in an apartment can cook their ribs in an oven wrapped in foil. At the end of the day, you're still going to have some tender, delicious ribs, 2 different ways. Maybe the Traeger will have a little more smoke flavor, but you can add that in there. As long as it helps you reach your goals, meet your caloric and macronutrient needs for the day, then hey, that's great. I know a lot of people who hate breakfast. I remember back in the day when I did a training video with the Hodge twins and I already had 4 meals in me and they're like, yeah, we'll eat after this. And I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, yeah, we grew up, we never ate breakfast, and we just don't eat breakfast. When I grew up, I always ate breakfast. So my body's conditioned, maybe it's psychologically, maybe it's physiologically, to want that food. And for me, I'm able with my metabolism, which is freakish. My metabolism is nothing short of freak. I'm able to eat and burn calories throughout the day and sustain on many more calories than maybe a Shawn Baker or a Marc Bell. Shawn Baker, though, eats like 20 pounds of meat every meal. I don't get that guy. He's a freak. He's just a freak. I said this in the beginning. He's just a freak. He's 5 years old or something? Still killing it, like doing crazy crap, just took up jujitsu. Guy's a freak. He's a freak. I'm a freak in a different way. I churn through calories and I build muscle really easy. I was just talking to my wife, like, dude, I literally have no reason being this big right now. I'm not on any extracurricular steroids. I'm on HRT, but not enough to sustain 226 pounds at my body fat year round while boxing for probably 3 hours, 3.5, 4 hours a week, while doing cardio, multiple rounds of cardio, while coaching youth sports. There's no reason for me to have this much muscle. My body holds on to muscle and my body burns through calories. We all have freaks do freak stuff, but what about you? You're not me. You're not Sean Baker. You're not Marc Bell. What do? You experiment, right? Just like in college, the first time you slept with a dude, assuming you're a dude, or a chick if you're a chick. Or if you go both ways, hey, just a normal Saturday for you. At the end of the day, man, experimentation's good. I have tried all these diets. I've tried the carnivore diet. I've tried going vegan. I've tried the CKD, the TKD. Katie's sitting right here. What diet haven't we tried? We've tried everything. We've tried everything twice. I've tried most of this shit twice. I did carnivore twice because I thought I messed up the first time. Yeah, right now I'm on the IDG. Here's what I do now. And I know you guys are tired of hearing about this on the YouTubes or on the Instagrams or wherever I posted this, right? You know, what I do now is I eat a gram of protein per pound of body weight, between 1 and 2 grams. I try to get as much whole food as possible. I eat around 5 to 6 outright bars a day. I just ate one right now. Look at this. Just ate a cookie dough right now. I eat about 6 of them a day. And I'll have whey protein 2 or 3 times a day, 50 grams of that, at least 1 ambrosia planta shake, 2 whole eggs and toast for breakfast. Usually have 2 meals of, some grass-fed beef and some salmon. I have veggies. I usually throw spinach in my planta shake. I have as many fruits as possible, a lot of berries. I eat very healthy, but I eat a lot and a lot of carbs. Look, man, the reason we cut carbs is because where else are you going to cut, right? You need a gram of protein per pound of body weight. You need about 0.5 grams of fat per pound of body weight. My theory has always been to lose fat, keep carbs as high as possible, and cardio as low as possible for as long as possible. That way you have something to manipulate. Aim to lose 1 to 2 pounds a week, and you're good. So at the end of the day, man, my thought is, number 1, follow Marc Bell. He's a great guy. And Sean Baker. He posted a lot of great stuff that I agree with on the current pandemic issue going on. I love Sean. I've made fun of him a lot. I've also called him fat in the past, but that was all in good fun. At least I thought it was fun. I'm sure he was mad. But nonetheless, these guys are great guys. And other people to follow. You know, there's a lot of people who have other things, like for different diversity in dieting. You know, the guy used to work at Lane Norton. He does his thing. You know, you got Jason Theobald over there. You got a lot of people giving different diet. You got, what's that guy's name? The guy who does does all the MMA dieters, the Dulce diet. You got that guy. The thing is, none of them are right. I'm not right. For everybody. We all are right for some people. I think I'm smarter and better looking than all of them, but that's besides the point. Anyway, guys, I appreciate you watching. Be sure to subscribe to this channel, or if you're on Instagram, follow this, share this on your story. You can share this on your story on Instagram. You click on that little sideways triangle under it, and it shares it right to your story. Share it because the IGTVs come up and play right on their story. And be sure to, share this, follow me, and do everything you could do to make this video and make my social media great again. Anyway, guys, thanks so much for watching. Be sure to do all that stuff. Again, and buy all your supplements, including ambrosia nectar and the outright bar. Buy them from Tiger Fitness because I really like buying things, and I really want a new car. No, I'm just playing. We don't need... Actually, no, I have appeal to pity. My daughter turns 16 next year, and she wants a car. Right now, I'm thinking of getting her a crappy car, but I'd rather give her my Jeep Grand Cherokee and me get... I'd like to get a Charger Hellcat. So if you guys can just simply donate to my Charger Hellcat fund, that'd be amazing. That'd be absolutely amazing. Anyway, guys, I love you. Love you so much. And I'm not just saying that because you just slept with me. That's not a game. One thing we're finding out about everything going on, about enhancing your immunity, preventing viruses from taking over your body and causing bad effects, causing you to be very, very sick, is that not only is obesity a huge driver in how bad viruses affect you, but also your insulin levels. So what I say to people is you want to control your blood glucose. Now, one thing I don't think most people can adhere to is a ketogenic diet. That will help control your blood sugar, help control your insulin levels. So what do? We have these things out there called insulin mimetics, and that's where Nutrient Driver helps tremendously. Nutrient Driver is extremely healthy, has tremendous health benefits, also helps regulate your blood sugar. Nutrient Driver, try it today.